2020 is a landmark year for the United Nations. It marks the 75th year of the UN's existence. It marks a new era for the world body. It is also an opportunity for the United Nations to bring about necessary changes and stay relevant. But is the UN doing enough to change with the times? The answer, unfortunately, is no. Take the United Nations Security Council, for example. India's permanent representative to the United Nations recently called the Security Council an impaired organ. Here's why.
Mr. President, today's Security Council is an impaired organ. It has been unable to act with credibility, essentially due to its unrepresentative nature. But then, what is happening inside the IGN process, which we seem to be wedded to? Inside the IGN, nothing has moved for more than a decade, except hearing passionate statements on the need for reform. In fact, it has not progressed since it is not only informal, but it has no rules of procedure and has no records. For a decade, it has remained that way. We are forced to keep our own notes, placing a tremendous burden on all small and medium states. The same countries who shed crocodile tears for small and medium states are the same ones denying them even the basic courtesy, which is to help them keep official record of discussions.
So who is responsible for reducing the intergovernmental negotiations to a university level-like debate? Who is responsible for making the UN Security Council an unrepresentative body? And who is responsible for stonewalling the reforms? Well, that country is China. For years now, India, Germany, Japan and Brazil have been trying to get a permanent seat to the UN Security Council. But the UN Charter is such that it gives permanent members the veto power to any resolution, including expansion of membership. Russia, France, the US and the UK and China are the permanent UNSC members. While the first four have backed India's permanent membership, China has time and again stalled it. China has also stonewalled the IGN, or the intergovernmental negotiations, by laying out impossible conditions. The IGN on the UNSC reforms began 10 years ago. New Delhi, along with several other UN member states, repeatedly stated that inclusive text or recording whatever happens at the IGN or the intergovernmental negotiations is not just the next logical step, but the only step that can lead to negotiations on these UNSC reforms. And the absence of record does not help bridge differences. But it only stalls the process of reform, which India and other G4 nations believe is long overdue.
Just a handful of countries don't want us to proceed. They have stopped the IGN from progressing. They are using the IGN as a smokescreen to stop themselves from being identified by paying lip service to Security Council reform. The conditions they are laying out are impossible to fulfill, which is full consensus of all member states. Ironically, this is happening at a time when we are in a tearing hurry last week to give ourselves e-voting rights. But for the IGN, they want no voting, leave alone e-voting, but only full consensus.
So it essentially comes down to this. With every passing year, the UNSC becomes more and more unrepresentative. It fails to account for the changing global order. You see, the United Nations was formed in 1945. Back then, the founders envisaged that, quote-unquote, 5 policemen should be able to look after global peace in the post-war era. These 5 policemen became the 5 permanent members of the UNSC. This was 75 years ago. The world has changed a lot since. Countries around the world also want the UNSC to change with time. But there is one permanent member that is stopping this, and that's China. And by doing so, Beijing is hammering in the sense of inequality that was embedded in the UN Charter back in 1945, but that has no place in today's world. How can the world's 3rd, 4th and 5th biggest economies not have a permanent UNSC seat? If this is not impairment of a world body, what is? 2 months ago as well, world leaders called for urgent UNSC reforms. They also sought to make the decision-making structures more multilateral. 10 months to go before the 75th session of the UNGA ends, the reform process has far from begun. But it is never too late to change if the UNSC is serious about reforming.